The Athene Real Talk Podcast explores controversial ideas to stimulate debate and active thinking. These ideas do not always reflect Athene's personal views. Welcome to the Athene Real Talk Podcast.
He has been called the best gamer in the world, hands down.
World-famous gamer and philanthropist Athene.
Gaming for Good, it's called, has raised more than $20 million.
Using his notoriety to raise money for charity.
On activism, science, culture, and self-development.
Proud to have him in the studio today. I would not want to take you on in a video game.
Hello guys.
This is Brian. He's a guy making quite some money with sports betting. Quite skeptical guy, right?
You think so? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, when Albert told me, I couldn't really understand it. And it's actually where it all started for me. I couldn't understand it because it was doing so much for people. And for me, I didn't really get it. I thought I get it, but I couldn't understand. I saw other people and it did so much for them. And for me, it didn't really, I couldn't click. But I thought I understood it. And then I spoke with you also because you came in the conversation. And then you explained how all the benefits with it, and you have to trust it and all these things, and you have to go through, you really have to go to the core, find your core value, where it comes from, all your drives, everything, and really go to the root of everything. So that's basically what I did. Later in my room, I was really thinking about it, very rational, and it was my rational part of the brain that was active doing this. And I still didn't fully understood what was my core value, because that was the problem. I couldn't find my core value. So I went to take a shower for half an hour, and the first 20 minutes in the shower I couldn't still get it, and then slowly I started to maybe not think so much about it, and then suddenly it came to me, what was my core value, everything, where
Can you say what your core value was?
My core value was comfort. So basically, I don't mind telling a story, it's a bit weird maybe for people here outside, but anyway, basically I was here, part of what I did here in the group was making money basically through sports betting, and where my drive to make this making money work with sports betting, and I worked my ass off. I worked 16 hours a day trying to make this sports betting work, and I also did make it work. I made quite some money with sports betting. And the reason for me to work so hard with this sports betting was it was just an easy job to do, one of the easiest tasks here. You just sit at the PC, do the sports betting, do your analysis, and it was an easy job for me. Then during all this process, like I imagined, okay, what if I had to do the garbage, for instance? If I had to do the garbage for this long time, I wouldn't work so hard on it because it was not a comfortable situation for me to imagine if I had to do the garbage all the time. So that was the way I realized that comfort was my core value. That was what led me to work so hard in making money. So in my head, I didn't realize it at the time, basically. People have to know this also. I didn't know at the time that my core value was making money. So in my head, what was actually what's going on that I see now and can completely laugh at it, was making money here equals comfort, because then I could just do this grinding cash thing, which was an easy thing for me to do. So that was like really, holy shit, I'm just doing this so I can do this easy task in the group. It was so easy to debunk it, and why it was flawed thing to believe in this. And then since there was more people here who already had clicked, for me, it was very already up in the air that, okay, logic was easy to cling to. And of course, it's the most natural thing for me because it's very in line with the stuff I do with sports betting and stock investing and these things. It's very logical and rational thinking you have to do. So it was very easy for me to just cling on this. And it instantly clicked already in the shower, like few minutes. You already align everything and you just understand how you work. And then basically I came downstairs here immediately. I told Albert, man, I figured this shit, you're just high. You want to explain people and you're really pumped with this. And one of the things we also talked about was that Stas here is a bit similar situation with me, because he also have a situation where he suppresses his feelings and don't really have them so much active in his daily life, which was the case with me also. Like they were very hidden, suppressed with me. I wasn't aware of what was actually going on. Like my emotional part was of course controlling me, but I didn't let this emotion come up. So it's insane. I can just only recommend people to think about this really.
Do you think that this is going to cause a revolution?
Yeah, of course. Like instantly, when you click for you know, I was instantly also saying like everybody here can make it work. Everybody here will click sooner or later. And I also think people out there can do it. And one of the problems is also like, because it was in the evening yesterday that it clicked for me. And in the night, I actually couldn't sleep because of this, because your mind is it's crazy, the thoughts you have and stuff. So I started writing down what you actually have to do to make it click if you're not in this environment. I was trying to write it down. It's quite a list for me. That's probably a faster way, but it was I was imagining, okay, if I had to explain it to my family or whatever who don't live in this environment, how to go about it basically.
A lot of people really are still in denial though. They really
Yeah.
think that this is either scripted or a cult, but a cult that goes away quite quickly because
Yeah.
it's logic. It's hard. So you're in the cult of logic. It
Yeah.
makes not so much sense. It sounds too crazy to believe it.
Yeah, but I'm not so worried for them
Yeah.
because they will switch anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm actually not so worried for them. They will switch anyway. It's not too bad. You will get it.
It's so funny, people like JB guy just used critical thinking. It's bigger than this. You are
Yeah.
ignorant person in the darkness. You shall see the light. Don't
Yeah, you
worry.
will see. You will
Yeah.
see.
It's so funny. The people that are the biggest smack talkers are the ones that either are going to come and apologize when they make the click because they
Yeah.
realize this is legit, or are going to be the ones that are still in validation seeking,
Yeah.
bragging to friends. Yeah, I was in the chat watching him stream when he was talking about it, when it all happened. Because this is a new era in
It's
humanity.
true. Yeah, I also believe so.
It's
I
a
really
new
do.
era in
Yeah.
humanity.
Yes, there's a before and after
Yes.
when you make the click. And what happened with me also, I start almost laughing a bit of myself what I was doing before. They will do the same when they make the click. You will laugh at yourself, how you behave like this, where it came from. Because there's a reason for all you fucking trolls sitting in the chat writing these things. There's a subconscious reason for why you're doing these things. And you think rationally, I'm doing it just for the lulz or whatever. But they don't know.
There is their core value
Yes.
is dictating them to behave the way they behave in the chat.
Yes,
So you got to really wonder, why are you even typing these messages? Why? Where does it come from?
yes.
Think critically, go to the core.
And that was the thing, an hour before it clicked for me, I wasn't aware of my core value. They don't know it.
Yeah.
They don't know it, but they will sooner or later realize what it really is. And it will just come to them.
It's salvation, man.
Yep.
It's happening, random people.
Yes.
Just suddenly all their problems poof,
Yes,
gone.
it's amazing. And I already, I also said it here, people who haven't clicked yet, when I'm happy in advance for them, that sooner or later...
We're happy for them.
Yeah, we're happy for you.
We're happy for you.
Yeah,
But brainwashing, there is no, brainwashing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You're ignorant.
yeah.
So funny.
You will soon get it. You
Yeah,
will
they
soon
will get it.
Yeah.
They will get it.
Why do all talk about clicking, but not how to do it? I think we talk about it quite often, right? How to do it. It's basically, first of all, I'm just going to explain it again so you guys listen, right? I'm going to explain it how it works, step by step. So first, you need to understand what drives you on a fundamental level. On a core emotional level, you need to understand what is your motivation. On a very subconscious level, what drives you? It is, most of the time, it is a lack of safety in some sort. And that can be because of low self-esteem, because you want to fit in, because you feel comfortable, comfort, you want to be comfortable, but all this is because of a lack of safety. And if you really understand how you work and what your emotional drive is, you can then go on to basically understanding what logic is. And in the process of it, you need to be quite honest with yourself. You need to be brutally honest because it can be hard. It can cause quite some dissonance to be honest with yourself and to admit that you maybe have low self-esteem, or to admit that you just do things because of validation, or because you want to fit in, or because you have an ego and an identity, and you do all these things not because you're such a great guy or whatever, but to admit to yourself that you do it because you, on a fundamental level, feel that you need to do it. You feel that you need to do it to get value or whatever. I can't really go through all the core values because for certain things I don't fully know how they work. For different people, work differently. But the fundamentals are very much the same. So if you understand what your core drive is, then you basically need to understand what logic is. You need to understand that logic can give you much more than what you currently have. You need to understand the value of basically having logic. You need to understand that logic can give you meaning, can give you purpose, can basically solve all your problems. You need to, on an emotional level, really want logic. You really need to want it on an emotional level. And when you have that, then you can basically start to relate to it more emotionally. You can make logic, because logic is not something that is just cold and a tool that you just use. Logic is something that you can embrace, that you can on an emotional level relate to. Like logic can be your friend, or logic can be the thing that you value the most. Logic can be anything that gives you value, anything that you can on an emotional level relate to. That is what logic can be to you. And if you understand that, then it is just about causing dissonance with your old core value and clicking into the value of logic, because logic is all around you. If you watch like videos on YouTube about how everything that is around you is based on logic, like on mathematical formulas, maybe you can type on YouTube, there's videos about the beauty of logic, where you really have like numbers, and where you see how, for example, Fibonacci numbers really create certain patterns in nature, and how everything is connected, how certain physical laws lead to us having gravity and having planets and stars and having the sun and the earth, how certain mathematical formulas lead to what we have. And everything that you know and value exists because of logic, because there is evolution that follows a specific pattern that leads to you existing. Everything is based on logic. And if you understand that everything is interconnected with this fundamental essence of logic, then you understand that logic is the most valuable thing you can have, and therefore you connect to it more on an emotional level. And you can watch YouTube videos about it. You can watch the last episode of the new Cosmos series from Neil deGrasse Tyson about it. Whatever works. Whatever works. So that's basically what it is.
Subscribe to youtube.com/AtheneWins. Watch the live stream at twitch.tv/AtheneLive and follow the real Athene on Snapchat.